Right, Katrina Gorry to keep it going. She's got it.
She got it.
She got it.
Still alive.
Go drum back. Once a year, mate, in the corner.
That's it, mate.
Hey, he's from Bendigo, so if he gets there, sort him out.
Oh, they're checking it again. Right off. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Keilor Basketball Stadium for this Victorian Youth Championship women's match between Keilor Thunder and the Bendigo Braves. My name's Michael Van Dorset in commentary tonight, and joining me is the NBL 1 men's coach for the Keilor Thunder in Liam Glascott. And Liam, this is threatening to be an absolutely ripping game to finish off what has been a fantastic day of women's sport around the globe.
Absolutely. Obviously, Bendigo winning the NBL 1 women in the South earlier on. Been a very talented team in this VYC competition as well. These girls have been 1-1 each this year. Bendigo getting the first game of the season, I think round 1 from memory.
Here at Keilor?
Here at Keilor, and then Keilor getting it back on the road midway through the season. Obviously, both teams from the same conference, finishing second and third in their divisions, and here ready to battle it out.
So our starters for tonight for Keilor, we've got number 5, the captain, Macy Boyle. Number 13, Millie Cumbara. Number 17, Meg Lucas. Number 24, Caitlin Peterson. Number 32, Zoe Shaw. While for Bendigo Braves, Poppy Blanche starts. Meg McCarthy, the general, starts. Lavinia Cox. Jess Smith and Izzy Whitelaw all start for the Braves as they come across, and we wish them all the very best for tonight. And it's going to be a ripper as the Matildas look like they've just had a win.
Jesus.
Just to talk about timing, the Matildas have won in a penalty shootout against France.
Well, I'm going to have to get in my feet here just like the Keilor crowd is, so
I reckon it's going to be the best way for us as we dribble the ball down, the opening possession going the way of Keilor. A nice drive to the basket there. And being well held there, McCarthy gets a hand on the ball, as does Lucas, and it's an early jump ball possession going the way of the Braves.
I'm looking forward to the Poppy Blanche and Caitlin Peterson match up tonight. I think that's going to be a really good one.
There's players that have had good minutes in the NBL 1 as well, which has been great to see them go up and down both ways.
Absolutely.
So, actually,
how many of these girls played before in the NBL 1?
So, Blanche and McCarthy were on the bench.
Yep.
Didn't see any minutes in that regard. Number 1, Caitlin Richardson, has been called up as well. She played a couple of moments. She didn't play a whole heap in the championship just before. So, starting on the bench, as you'd expect, as a mid-range jumper goes there for Macy Boyle. Crowd's almost as loud as what it is at Stadium Australia at the moment.
Absolutely.
As it's going to be inbounded by Jess Smith. Cox and Whitelaw combining. Blanche. Cox was actually sitting 2 rows in front of me at the NBL 1 final. Line of Vuvuzela, which is good to see as she starts with a 3-point attempt tonight. Rebound there for Zoe Shaw. Keilor, obviously the reigning premiers in this competition, for one more game at this point in time. Well, they enter it as the reigning premiers.
Yeah.
Shaw, great work by McCarthy to get an intercept there. And an early foul called for a push on Caitlin Peterson.
Interesting one for you. Obviously, you mentioned our girls getting a championship last year, looking to go back-to-back. This actual date, 10 years ago, our Youth League men won a grand final against Trevor Burnett, who coached our Youth League women and now our NBL 1 coach
Jeez.
in our program. So some history there.
How about that?
I had to get that one in just as a little dig because I was the coach of the Youth League men at that stage.
Well, fair enough. As that looks like it was a 3-second violation. In the court, in the key. Looks as though the Bendigo crowd is starting to roll in. Keilor obviously been set for quite some time. Good healthy crowd here tonight too, which is good to see. Shaw driving to the basket. Dishes out, there's no basket there. And foul called on Cox. Keilor ball from the sideline, in front of their bench. Switch being made, kicked out and just couldn't, try to move off before she had it there. Was Canberra. Good early ball movement from both sides.
Definitely.
Whitelaw having to come up and get the ball out into backcourt. McCarthy looks like she's going to run this offense for the Braves. Blanche can't find Whitelaw in the paint. As driving all the way was Zoe Shaw for 2. She started well.
Yeah, she's a strong, aggressive guard. Played a bit of it in our NBL 1 team this year as well.
It's good to see the development that they get the opportunity up at this NBL 1 level.
Keilor again with that pressure. You've seen obviously in the full and half court the pressure with a few turnovers obviously occurring in those situations right now.
And you can tell Keilor have been here before.
Yeah.
As a collective. I think they're just a little bit calmer at the moment. Grand final nerves. People don't say too much about it, but I think it's a really big thing. This ball gets kicked back out to the perimeter. Shooting from downtown. Can't quite get there. Was Canberra. Good boxing out in the key. It's going to be Cox to drive this one down. That's just a silly foul at this point in time of the night. On Meg Lucas, her first personal. Didn't need to in that.
No, not with 12 seconds, no.
Nothing was really happening for him either.
No.
Blanche kicks it over to Smith. At the perimeter, good cut by McCarthy. Can she get back to the hoop? She tries, she draws the foul on Macy Boyle. She's going to go on the line to shoot 2.
Very smart play there by McCarthy. Got Macy Boyle out of position and was always going to foul her, I think, in that situation.
So first free throws for the night. For either side, McCarthy at the line to put the opening points on for Braves. Banks the first. And Zoe Shaw gets a bit of a chat to it. And McCarthy makes both. Seen more as a defensive player, Meg McCarthy.
She's up for the nomination as well, is she?
I believe, yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, Caitlin Pearson's also in that mix as well. I think there was definitely one Bendigo girl.
Yep. So, Shaw with a hand in the face. So, was it both sides having a good wins last week in the preliminary finals?
Yep.
Keilor by 17 points at Altona. And Bendigo won both their finals by 4 points. First one at Casey, and then they went to MSAC and defeated the top of the ladder Tigers. Is good back cut there. Poppy Blanche says, thank you very much. I'll open my account. It's interesting how it all the final series worked out this year for the youth championship girls.
Yeah, no second chances. Like
No.
last year was 1 and 2 got the second chances. This year was straight elimination across the board.
What do you reckon? Good idea?
Again, I think they want the best players playing in this competition. I think with kids going back to college and things like that at earlier dates now, either starting their college careers or going back for years 2, 3, etc.
Yep.
I think they're trying to get this competition over and done with pretty quickly, so it allows them to get back over there and start their pre-season with their schools.
Well, Erin Condren's one of those that playing
Yep.
playing basketball over in the States. There's a three-point shot from Jess Smith, because drains nicely. Only bring her up because she was high point scoring in the first two games that these two sides played against each other. And unfortunately unavailable because she's gone back for college.
Yeah, she's one of the ones that left early, isn't she?
Yeah. As Boyle gets that one and just gets a nice mid-range jumper. As the score is 7-6 to the Braves. Whitelaw dishes out to Blanche. Blanche has been shut down there by Lucas. Shot clock ticking down. Blanche from the cheap seats. And that's out of play. That was some good defense by the Thunder.
Yeah. Obviously, when you can obviously get to a stage where team has to force a late shot in the dying seconds of the shot clock, obviously you're very happy with that.
So it looks as though we're going to have our first substitution for the night too. Lucas gets cut out there though by Smith. Cox looking for Blanche. Blanche still gets it and drains the jumper. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Blanche had 30-odd points in that first game against Casey, shooting the lights out. Boyle. Ball gets out to Lucas. And she drains a mid-ranger for two. Just end-to-end basketball at this point in time. That's what you like to see. Not a lot of fouls being called as this one's almost through for Smith. Driving all the way through. Three-point opportunity. Millie Canberra. And so, up to 9. I'm reading that right, aren't I? 9-11?
9-11, yeah. Keilor's way, I believe.
Whitelaw from three and drains it. Easy Whitelaw.
Yeah, Izzy Whitelaw has some range. Come through the Vic Country system.
Shepherd and Girl.
Yep.
Got to bring that in at least once tonight. Being from Shep myself. And another chance at three there. But Boyle, after Meg Lucas gets the rebound, Boyle says, thank you, I'll take two. Great step through there. Lavinia Cox.
Another very talented guard too.
Both, yeah, very much so. Played a few minutes of NBL 1 midway through the year. Got the opportunity. As that looked like it was on the line. Rebound from Smith. Cox away. Reach in, foul. She'll get the N1 opportunity. So the points are good. Hands foul called on Caitlin Peterson. As Ruby Sweeney Shipsek comes in for Keilor, as does Yelena Savic. And a couple of changes for Bendigo as well. Caitlin Richardson in and Phoebe Radford. Players on court. Cox with an opportunity for an N1. In and out, won't go. Whitelaw with the rebound. With one that brings Radford. Kicks it out to McCarthy. McCarthy. Back to Cox. Cox can't get the three to go. Shaw banks that one in off the glass. Great screen.
Both teams really looking to push the tempo right now. I think they're starting to find their comfort zone after a few little jiggles early on. Another easy basket for Cox.
You're going to see that all night, I reckon.
She's just getting whatever she wants at the rim right now.
By my count, that's up to 6 points. And there's three, as we've got a tied ball game.
Ruby shot the ball extremely well last week against Altona. I think she hit 4 or 5 threes from memory as well.
Sometimes you need that. if players are just hitting what they need to. McCarthy. They call her the general at Bendigo. There's a bounce pass. Richardson with a hook shot. Won't go. Boyle picks it up and out of court. The amount of times you see that in basketball is phenomenal, isn't it?
Absolutely. That negative step, just catching on that sort of scissor stance with your foot going backwards. We try and teach to catch on 2 feet and sort of get your feet down quickly and not go backwards at all. And yeah, it's something that, like you said, gets caught a lot.
Smart there by McCarthy. Didn't go and get it because she was over in the front court. Radford, Richardson. Drive in there for McDermott. Foul being called here. 23. It was Hayley Courts nearly into the game. Lavinia Cox had a break there for all of 20 seconds.
We go. Megan obviously wasn't too happy with that call and wanted it to be known.
It's Claire McDermott's at the line, shooting 2. McDermott makes the first one. And she makes the second. As Bendigo are out by 2. Substitutions. Trying to work out what's going on. No? Nothing doing in the court?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... So Megan getting a warning there for too much talk. Megan Jarvis, the coach of the Thunder. Looking to push the tempo here, the Thunder. Catch and shoot opportunity passed up. This way and around. From the corner. Great shot there. Hayley Courts hit the 3 from the corner. And that's what they needed. So Cox.
Too easy again.
Driving to the basket, gets a nice lay-in. What are they going to have to do here? Play someone negative off?
I think right now they're too up and in with her, giving her too much time to sort of break her player down. There's no help there to come over off the split. So I think rotations either need to be there or they've got to probably give her a hand distance on those catches because she's just getting whatever she wants at the basket right now.
And it doesn't really help the situation. I mean, I must admit that is quarter time and it's a 1-point lead to Bendigo and that's gone very fast to be perfectly honest. But that's Lavinia Cox is just, yeah, like you said, driving at will and trying to find a way to put that hand in their face.
Yeah, I think obviously I would be looking at her, seeing if she can shoot the ball contested. You obviously don't want to leave a player of her calibre wide open or anything like that. But I think they've got to give her a bit more cushion, is what we use in the basketball terminology world, with that hand above ball, hand distance type thing to be able to contain her because she is just lightning at the ring right now.
She's up to 6 points for the night. Poppy Blanche with 4 as well. It was Jess Smith and Izzy Whitelaw with 3. Couple of points to Meg McCarthy and Claire McDermott. They were cheap ones from the foul line, I suppose you could call them if you want to call it that way. Macy Boyle's on 6 for Keilor. Zoe Shaw with 4, 3 to Millie Kumbara, Ruby Sweeney, Shipsack, and Hayley Courts. As it's 22-21.
Lavinia Cox does have 8. That last 2 points obviously hasn't refreshed on our iPad in front of us. But she's 4 of 6, and every time she has got downhill, it is at the ring. I think the 2 shots she missed, I remember she missed one from that sort of short corner, mid-range contested. I can't remember the other one, but there you go, straight away. You're pushing her outside the keys, probably something that the Keilor staff and Keilor players have to obviously recognise and try and adjust to that.
Very much so. And with Macy Boyle, 3 from 4 from the foul line. 3 from 4 from the field. Up to 6 points, as we said. And just looking else, what else we got there? Any rebound stats? Like
a couple of people with 3 for the Keilor Thunder.
8 to 7 total for both teams. So
and the stats are across the board pretty even. I think the Bendigo one with this, the 4 turnovers, 3, 7 and 6 assists. Yeah, pretty dead even game, like on the scoreboard.
Yeah, 1 point margin is as we get things underway for second quarter action. It's going to be Shaw to bring us in. Keys left open, driving lane, says thank you very much. I'll take that every day of the week. It's like driving down the highway.
To be fair, right now, Zoe Shaw's probably not far off Lavinia Cox as well, getting what she wants at the basket right now too.
Yeah. And you seem to find that at this sort of level, don't you, with the two, with at least one player from each side.
Well, both of them are the point guards, obviously the team, so running the show.
Blanche loses the handle and Shaw's taken over. Trying to kick it around. Savic. Stop and prop at the foul line. There was Sweeney Spitzek.
I don't think she caught that right. She didn't look like she wanted to shoot it and hesitated.
Yeah, thought about it too long. There's great back cut there from Richardson to find Cox.
With that sort of shuffle action, it's called the thirds action there. Bendigo run, they do a great job. Their women did a great job in the NBL 1 South Grand Final today as well. And you can see Keilor running a very similar set out of it here as well.
Shaw for three. Won't go. Off hands Keilor's way. The substitutions, Nathan Batchelor going to his bench. Radford and McDermott off. Smith and Whitelaw back. So the only starter that's not on the court is McCarthy, and Richardson's in there for her. There's too long to inbound the ball.
Something the players might not be used to. This, obviously, the final series is the first time they've seen 3 referees in this competition.
Yeah.
And something that's probably been picked up a bit more tonight. I don't normally see too many 3-second in the keys at any level, but it's something that's been on tonight, both ends.
And it's been fascinating. Like like you said, you don't see it a lot at any level, even though you can count for 3 seconds that they're in the key, and if they're making an attempt to get out, I suppose they turn around and they go, righto, we're okay. Richardson to Whitelaw, kick out. And that is a 3-point shot there from Poppy Blanche. That looked very familiar. Wilson to McKay. I must admit, they've all been leading off each other, to be perfectly honest. Keilor, look to go again. Boyle, met by Whitelaw, kicked it back out, and it's gone around to Courts. Sorry, Peterson.
Yep.
Get 24 and 23 mixed up. They're both out on the court at the moment.
Oh, good.
Cox. So Smith come and block screen for me. Blanche, step back.
That's her game.
There you go.
That's her game. Timeout on cue.
Yep, there's Megan Jarvis is like, thank you very much. We need to have a chat.
Bobby Blanche is getting too much time and space on those catches on the wing at the moment. And if you give her too much distance, she's going to pop that 3 ball. But obviously there she was able to put it to the deck. Caitlin Pearson did a pretty good job, but just too talented in that situation. I think they've got to really deny that catch and get the ball out of her hands. And try and play on the other side of the floor.
How much does training with those NBL 1 players and all that sort of stuff, like, would that help these junior
big
players
time.
coming through?
For us, obviously, we're a new club in the NBL 1 South over the last 2 years, and we can see the noticeable differences through our juniors, especially through our youth league women, obviously 2 times in a row making a final. It's huge. I think there's about 5 or 6 of these Keilor girls that are training and sort of playing both.
Yep.
Very similar to, obviously, Bendigo, and I think that's the big difference. You can see.
It's amazing. It's amazing, and the chance that I suppose both competitions give each other. Like, you can feed into the NBL 1, and you can feed back, and I think that's been fantastic from Basketball Victoria, Basketball Australia.
Absolutely, it's just finding that balance now, because you do have juniors coming through your ranks, and obviously it's an under 23 competition, but you don't want 21, 22-year-olds taking away from the 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are out here on show right now.
Very much so. As the crowd is in, and there's some great signs that are turning up as well. Kids have been busy all week trying to make signage, no doubt. So let's see if that chat has had a chance to sink in for the Thunder. Down by 6 at this point in time. Shaw, opposed to Richardson, step back, drops that one nicely.
It's almost identical to Poppy Blanche's one down the other end before the timeout.
Just the opposite wing.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a huge ball as well. But you won't go there for Smith. Boyle kicked off to Peterson. working their way through to Courts. Courts drives and it's going to drop.
The extra passes then obviously got that done. They could have taken a few shots, I thought. Shaw on the rim, piece at the top.
They're trying to probably try and bring others into the game at the moment too. As Richardson kicks out to the wing. Don't tell me from 3. From the spectators there, Poppy Blanche, but looked good for most of the way. Shaw.
You'll see this set here is the horn set, the Keilor Thunder run. It's one of their go-to sets. So we get the ball through hands and slow down and get shots like that.
Just need to see what they can do. Good rebounding. Back into Boyle, and Boyle says thank you very much.
There's a
and now
timeout.
Nathan Batchelor wants to have a chat. There's the scores have evened up at 29 all.
Basically, Boyle very similar right now, just really working hard for the second chances. Not necessarily always getting the offensive rebound, but she's getting the right spots when the Thunder do come up with it to dish off in those situations. I think she's be up to 8 or 10 right now as well.
Yeah, Macy Boyle up to 8 points on the night. Same with Zoe Shaw. They're leading the way there. 10 points for Liv Cox, 9 for Poppy Blanche. Leading the way, as you would expect, from Bendigo too.
And to be honest, they're probably the 4 players to 2 each team. I expect it to have a big impact if either team's going to want to come away with the championship.
And that's what they're coming towards at the moment too. Shout out to our 3 officiating umpires tonight, Sophie Porter, James Kirakopoulos and Amy Barker for getting their grand final tonight. Congratulations to them. I mean, fairly good performance across the board.
Absolutely. I think when you're not noticing them, that's when it's obviously the best from everyone's point of view, from playing, coaching, and even spectators.
Correct. And you've got to acknowledge them because it's their grand final tonight too.
Oh, absolutely.
And without them, we don't have a game. So a huge cheerio to them and a huge cheerio to all the referees that do a ripping job across the weeks. And there's Bendigo bring the ball down. McCarthy's back out on the floor. They've gone with their starting 5, the Braves.
Keilor Thunder just junking it up out of that timeout into a 3-2 zone right now out of a press.
Blanche from the bench. Can't get it to go. McCarthy was, I thought was always going to lose out on that one. Shortest player on the team. Shortest player on the court. But the referees have judged it going Braves' way.
It was one of those ones that looked a bit 50-50, but she had the right view right in front of her.
Yep. Whitelaw playing keepings off with Blanche. Ball a bit too hot for McCarthy. Shaw going back the other way. There's a 3-point shot going up there from Courts. Doesn't go. Game being played at a fairly frenetic pace, to be perfectly honest. Mid-ranger from Blanche doesn't go. There's that opportunity there that you said about. Hand in the face.
I still thought she had a bit too much time and space there coming from the weak side in the middle of the zone. Is from an offensive point of view, I'm sure Bendigo exactly want that ball in the middle, especially with Poppy Blanche in her hands as well.
Jess Smith picking up a hands foul there. First foul for the quarter, 4 minutes 40 into the quarter. The Shaw spins around and drains the 2. Meg McCarthy got lost in transition there. As the heat's coming from Keilor. McCarthy turning that one over. Nice little 1-2.
Timeout coming.
It's one thing I think Bendigo do both well in the NBL 1 South and also in this level. As Mark Alabakov's rocked up, he says, no, call it as soon as you see something that's happening. Yeah. Don't wait a moment to try and rectify it. Just call the timeout and have a chat to the team.
I think obviously with the change of defence from Keilor, that was probably something that the Bendigo team didn't expect. So they've come out with that. Obviously to call this timeout and probably make some adjustments to make sure they're prepared for that delay press back to a zone.
As Mark Alabakov's into the game already. Already asking the umpires a couple of questions. Being told very quickly to go and sit back down, which is fair.
Yeah. Just arrived, I think, didn't he?
I think it's the first time I've seen him.
Yeah.
He's just popped in. Must have got around us. We're too busy focusing on the court and what's coming.
You're speaking about this pace. I think that's the team that can can be consistent with that pace and continue to go through it, I think it's going to end up on top in my view.
Yeah,
but obviously they've got to limit turnovers when they do get tired and things like that. But yeah, let's see what Bendigo come out with here. Keilor staying in this 1-2-2 press as well.
5 turnovers to 7 at this point in time. Keilor.
Yeah, there's another one. There's another one. Oh, almost no.
Although they might still get one.
Couple of deflections there. Couple of deflections, almost forced the turnover.
It's going to be Cox for 2. Whitelaw fighting Boyle for it. And travel violation called. So, Keilor 33, Bendigo 29. Cut in, across McCarthy. Drives, kicks out. Smith to Blanche.
Great ball movement by the Bendigo girls there.
And tip ball going the way of the Thunder. The ball movement's just frantic at this point.
Yeah, both teams.
Yeah. From the corner, a little bit long there for Savic.
Oh, jump ball.
Jump ball.
I thought Macy Boyle got away with a little push there underneath the basket.
So substitutions for both sides. Ruby Murphy into the game for Keilor. Caitlin Richardson, the pair of ones coming into the game. That's not going to be winning too many hands in blackjack or poker. So they're sort of playing this 1-2-2 sort of zone at the moment.
Yeah,
Keilor.
1-2-2 full sort of three-quarter press.
Yeah.
Back to the 3-2 zone that they're being quite aggressive with.
McCarthy
there you
sinks
go.
the 3 from the bench. (32-33).
Okay.
And Shaw sinks the 3. Anything you can do, I can do better, Meg.
I think she's up to 13 points, Zoe Shaw.
Ball kicked out, Richardson. Finding Cox, Richardson again for 3. Ball out of play, Keilor's ball. So Bendigo have had their, done their own presentation night already, and no surprises, Lavinia Cox was named the MVP and Poppy Blanche, best teammate for them. Not really a surprise to too many people in that respect.
Definitely not.
Jess Smith getting an opportunity though, with most improved. That one just misses out on Cox's hand. And offensive foul. That's an aggressive call if ever I've seen one. Macy Boyle with the offensive foul. And that's her second personal foul. Looks like Bendigo trying to play a bit of netball there for a moment with the passes.
That's the best way to beat the press. Get the ball through hands. Through the middle of the floor.
Blanche from the corner says nothing but net. One-point margin. Murphy kicks out to Savic. Savic for 3. Won't go. Peterson gets the rebound. Shaw. And a blocking foul called on Caitlin Richardson. Oh, that ball finds a Keilor player, but it wasn't the greatest of passes. Shaw backs into Richardson. Ooh, coming in over the top. No, head knock. Caitlin Richardson picking up that one for knocking the head. Something they're picking up a lot more these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's her second personal. Well, I thought she was unlucky there, to be honest.
Savic. Boyle. Oh, trying to turn a defender, McCarthy inside out. And she can't quite get there. Great long pass, finds Richardson
Great
open.
find.
And
Great
that is
find.
a great assist there. Liv Cox with the baseball pass. Well, probably more the quarterback. Hits the wide open receiver. This game is playing some frantic pace. McCarthy tried to pass, but passed it into Whitelaw. She's got it back now. Calls Cox to come at it. Cox goes to the foul line. Jumper will go. We're into the last minute of the first half.
Lavinia Cox and Poppy Blanche just starting to take over again.
This red time sort of basketball is hurting Keilor at the moment. From the top, ball just won't go in for Savic. McCarthy, the general, out to Richardson. Dish
Great
off
find.
to Whitelaw, can't finish. Shaw with a big board.
Thought a timeout might have been coming then if they had scored.
Yeah. Would you do it even with 30 seconds left in the half?
Absolutely.
Shaw turns to defenders inside out. Whitelaw. With 4 seconds differential between the shot clock and the game clock. We're just going to calm things down for probably about 10 seconds. Ball to the corner.
Too much
Richardson
space.
for three. You called it. Far too much space. As the shot clock's off, we're down to 3 seconds. Shaw, she's going to have to shoot from quarter court. And that's going nowhere but high. As we've hit half time, 42-38 in what has been a frenetic first half of basketball. Liam Glascott, what do you reckon? What's your thoughts?
Well, we spoke about the pace. I thought the Keilor Thunder, their pace obviously got them going, got them out to a lead when obviously out that timeout Megan Jarvis called. Nathan Batchelor calling his back-to-back timeouts after I think it's now 4 or 5. And since then he's organised what they wanted through to get through that half-court press. And their pace has probably picked up through ball movement, penetration, getting open looks, whereas Keilor just looked tired. Some of the sloppy turnovers. I can't think of Zoe Shaw actually checking out. She played the whole first half?
Yeah, pretty much,
She's played the whole first half, I think. Her and Macy Boyle. And probably in that last 2-3 minutes, it was pretty noticeable with obviously the Bendigo girls being Cox, Blanche. They've had little rest in that first quarter and were able to come on towards that back end of the second quarter.
It's going to be an enthralling second half action here at Keilor Basketball Stadium. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in just a little while. It's a 4-point margin. We'll be back in just a little bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Knox Basketball Stadium. It is the Basketball Victorian Youth Championship Women's Grand Final between Keilor, the defending champions, and Bendigo. And Michael Van Dorsa, and I'm joined by Liam Glascott in the commentary position today. And Liam, we've seen an amazing first half of action, and there's only 4 points that separate these two sides at this point in time.
It's just been a game of runs. Well, obviously, the first quarter was probably just basket for basket, sort of pretty even from that point of view. But that second quarter, obviously, Bendigo got out. Keilor got back out, and then obviously Bendigo finishing it off in the last 2 to 3 minutes there to lead the half by 4.
Yeah, and that's what we see, 42-38 Braves way. And just update, I suppose, for the viewers, what are we looking at, the NBL 1 South Men's Final? I know you want to be there. I'm sorry.
No, mate.
I'm glad you're here with me, though.
I'm very happy to be here. Obviously, as a director of coaching, I love supporting the club and these girls. Obviously, Megan and the staff and all the girls have done a great job. So, no, definitely would love to be watching the game, but would definitely be here over that from a club point of view. But, yeah, Knox we've got the lead over Sandringham by 3 points. I think it's halfway through the second here. But a surprise here. Well, I shouldn't say a surprise. He's had a great year in my view, but Bailey Nunn has 16 points off the bench for the Knox Raiders. Unbelievable.
16 points off the bench in half of basketball. That's phenomenal when you're not even playing like full time sort of thing. As we get things underway in the third quarter, Shaw's still out there on the court. As is Boyle. Kick back out, working their way through. And Shaw finally gets a shot off for 3. Nothing at all going for that. Are you surprised to see both Shaw and Boyle out there? I mean, You spoke about it just going into the half. They looked a bit tired.
I think obviously 10-minute halftime break, you've got to go back to your main girls. You've played them the whole time, and they are probably two of the girls that stand out in this Keilor Thunder team.
There's a cut there from Poppy Blanche. Is found by Meg McCarthy. Bendigo start the second half with points.
Just very complacent, Bendigo. Their ball movement, their structure, just knowing where they want to get some easy baskets from.
There's a holding foul called on Izzy Whitelaw. Her first personal foul. As Keilor inbounded. Shaw back to the top of it. As ball won't go for Peterson. Back down the other way, McCarthy now. Picks up the dribble. I thought she picked up the dribble at least anyway. Smith. Blanche. Whitelaw looking for the cut inside. Well read by Peterson, and ball goes the other way for 2. So that was well read by Lucas, who's standing to Whitelaw. Read that really well, and again a loose carry. Driving hard to the basket. And the smallest one there, Cox wins the rebound somehow. McCarthy should pop this over the top to Whitelaw. Whitelaw, can she finish? Can. That's that pace you were talking about early.
Yeah, not sure what happened, why Bendigo got the advantage there. I think Macy Boyle was on the ground, but I didn't believe she was in the layup, obviously, position either there.
No. Shaw drops a basket in almost complete silence in Keilor. Cox trying to get the ball back. Well intercepted there. Meg Lucas, she's been big in the first few minutes of this second half.
Yeah, her and Whitelaw obviously a very good matchup. They played against each other in juniors. Last year in the 18 VC Reserve Grand Final, Whitelaw was playing for the Hawthorn Magic.
Yep.
And now Keilor girls played against them. So they've obviously matched up before this year as well.
It's a matchup. Sometimes these things work out, don't they? As McCarthy gets turned around, loses the handle. Shaw picks it up. Thank you very much, she says.
Referees put the whistle away both ways there, so it was obviously consistent, which is really good to see.
Ball gets tipped there by Smith. Whitelaw finds Cox, and then Cox put it down to dribble, and Shaw says, I'll knock that away, and you can reset down deep. 4-point spread still. Bendigo's way. McCarthy, Smith. Is that not double dribble? Play goes on. Boyle says, thank you very much. I'll take that one. Bit scrappy both sides in the first little bit of this third quarter. Where am I? Lost the plot. It's Blanche.
It's a bit erratic, pretty erratic from both groups right now. Turnovers, 4 shots.
McCarthy trying to calm things down. Whitelaw. Smith looks at McCarthy and says, no, I'll take the dribble myself. Cox for 3. Drains it. Jeez, that was a good splash.
Yeah, that's tough.
Nothing looked like it was happening.
No, when I saw Meg Lucas out on an island with her, I was a bit worried she was going to burn it to the basket. But, yeah.
Should just step back and say thank you very much anyway. There's Lucas doing some burning of her own, and that was a nice drive. Put that straight down the corner, and you'll be getting a nice one there. Calls for over and a back. Didn't get heard. Whitelaw having to do some dribbling. McCarthy driving. Smith receiving and saying thank you very much, Meg McCarthy. Some good play there.
Definitely. Took advantage of us, the defense right up and in, and just burned her off the bounce. Was able to find the open player underneath the basket.
Peterson finds Boyle, finds Lucas at the foul line. Bendigo shops dropping a bit more easily at the moment than the Thunder.
I think whoever settles here over the next 2 to 3 minutes, I think, is going to be in the hot seat in my view.
Whitelaw can't get that one to go with a hook shot. Lucas with the board. Shaw. Lucas in the corner says thank you very much. That's what they need to find, is if you get a few more points out of your likes of your Lucases and your Petersons. I think, Caitlin Peterson 0 from 7 from the field. As the Bendigo Braves girls walk in, the NBL 1 girls, as Poppy Blanche's shot gets blocked. And Boyle can't get that to go. That would have been huge for Keilor.
Yeah, I think she was trying to think if she wanted a left hand or a right hand layup there. She was a bit confused where she wants, so she went under the basket.
Make a decision, stick with it. Cox cuts nicely, mid-range shot, drops. 53-46.
That is tough. She is a very good guard. How old is Lavinia Cox?
That is a very good question. I'll do some research while we're going and see what I can find. Peterson can't get that one to go either.
Keilor just looking really tired at the moment. Bendigo's obviously pace has dropped off a little bit, but they're just willing to move the ball around the half court.
Smith for 3. Doesn't go. Going back the other way. Boyle gets the ball stuck. How often do we see that? Not very.
Zoe Shaw coming off for her first rest of the night. Poppy Blanche also going to the bench for a rest.
There's the referee doing some basketball work. Do we get the right ball back? We'll find out. Richardson kicks it out. Cox for 3. Rattles around, won't go. McDermott's back in. There's a hands foul called on Peterson. Her third. Just trying to look it up. I thought I could find Liv Cox's age, but I can't quite at this point in time. Step back. Goes again. Drives. Draws the foul. And will go to the charity stripe to shoot 2. Mendoza on for her first time tonight. Picks up the foul. Picks up her first.
Probably Blanche went out for about 20 seconds, and I think it was just very quick.
That's all it is at this point in time, as Liv Cox is at the line to shoot 2. She's already up to at least 17. Makes the first, make that 18.
32 points combined for Poppy Blanche and Lavinia Cox.
And another one.
Make that 33.
6 from 7 from the free throw line for Bendigo. Keilor have not had a free throw at this point in time, as that one won't go there for Courts, but the follow-up does go.
Shelly Savage.
Radford finds Richardson, and they've turned it over. Have they? No, they haven't. Not quite.
So that can't afford a foul here.
Yeah, 8 seconds left. Ball doesn't go at all. Radford. That's going to be a No. It's going to be a Keilor ball. And I thought it was with 1 second to go. So the floor wiper's on duty, wiping a few things up. Ball coming down, Mendoza. Working their way through Courts. Boyle drives, drains the 2. So Shaw's having a break, but Boyle's still out there.
Very similar, obviously, for the Keilor Thunder. Macy and Zoe Shaw combining for 31 points.
Out of the 50.
Yeah. That's a foul and one.
Foul and one. Cox is on fire tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Lavinia Cox. There's a pushing foul called on Hayley Courts. Her first personal. As McCarthy checks back in. I'm trying to figure out who actually checked back in for Keilor there. It was
Ruby Sweeney-Spitzits.
Yep. Ruby Sweeney-Spitzits. And it's Cox for the N1. Drains that. How much is getting to the free throw important in basketball?
Oh, big time, obviously. 3 points, but it just means you're putting pressure on the rim normally too. I know that was an M1 from the free throw line, but she was coming off a pick and roll, going downhill anyway.
There's a travel violation called.
The NBL 1 Bendigo girls starting to make some noise as they've walked in.
I was just about to mention that. The crowd on the right-hand side of the court from where we're sitting at the moment has got up a little bit louder. And our Master of Ceremonies has got a bit louder too. Todd. Oh. There's Cox. Just says thank you very much. What are you doing to stop it? If you were coaching against her right now, what would you be doing?
I'm trying to deny her the balls, but probably trapping her out of these ball screens. She's getting whatever she wants.
Good cut there,
yeah.
Savic.
Getting the ball out of her hands. I know she's a point guard, but right now she's able to walk the ball up the floor and sort of initiate the offense. You'll see here she'll come off this shuffle cut out of the thirds action, and the ball will come back to her as well.
Blanche with the step back, deep 2, won't go. McDermott with the rebound. And McCarthy's going to pick up a foul here, late in the quarter. Holding foul. McCarthy's first personal. So Richardson's got 2, McCarthy 1, Cox 1, Smith and Whitelaw also 1, while for Keilor,
Meg Lucas has 3, Caitlin Pearson, Hayley Courts has got 2.
Peterson with 3.
Yeah. Oh, Pearson with 3, is it, sorry?
Yep.
Yeah, Pearson, sorry.
No, that's okay. McDermott with a big board. And they're pushing the tempo again. We've got 33 seconds left in the quarter.
Here she is again.
Just floats it. That one doesn't go, which is a shock. She's hitting 2/3 of the shots she's taken at the moment. Mendoza finds Savic. Savic drains the three. That was much needed for Keilor.
I do need to stop here, but where's Lavinia Cox? Here she is. 3 seconds. Oh, pulled
from
up
the score bench.
pulled up like Steph Curry right there, and it actually looked good out of the hand too.
Looked really good out of the hand. As we head to three-quarter time, and it's a 5-point spread Bendigo's way. As we look at what's happening, because there's some huge numbers being put out there. Might just try and refresh what we've got in front of us and see how we go. Hope you're enjoying the coverage from the Keilor Basketball Stadium. I reckon we got Macy Boyle with 16 points, Zoe Shaw with 15, who sat most of that third quarter. And then Lavinia Cox leading all comers with 24, Poppy Blanche with 14. And just some, well, we've got big numbers, 13 boards. No, 27 boards for Bendigo, 13 assists, while for Keilor, 25 boards and 14 assists. So pretty much everywhere else it's dead even.
Yeah, the Lavinia Cox 24 points right now, I think, is the standout there as well. Well, Macy Boyle and Zoe Shaw 16-15, but also Poppy Blanche with 14. So as I said, those four names are probably names we spoke about at the start of the game. Caitlin Pearson's obviously got the task, I think, on Poppy Blanche to start. Maybe she's the one that needs to move across to Lavinia Cox to change it up, as she's obviously a nomination for Defensive Player of the Year in this youth VYC competition.
Congratulations too to all the nominees. There's been some ripping players across the board.
Another big start that stands out to me is the three-point shooting. Bendigo's shooting 7 of 16 from the three, and Keilor are 5 of 22. And I know Keilor really rely heavily on getting a lot of threes up. It's sort of threes and layups is sort of their style of play. And the other one, obviously, is like you mentioned earlier, later in that third quarter, the free throws. 7 of 8 for Bendigo, and Keilor yet to attempt one.
That to me screams the difference in the two teams at the moment. Like you said, the follow-up, and I reckon if we have a look at probably the second chance points, I mean, Keilor are getting more looks in there, but I think they're just not being able to draw that foul.
8 to 3 second chance points, but points in the paint, Keilor's way 36 to 24.
Which makes for the lack of perimeter.
Yeah.
It's the way it is that way, so. There's an early foul.
Go.
There we go. As if on cue. You reckon that's what they spoke about at three-quarter time? Caitlin Richardson picking up her third personal foul.
I think both teams have been putting some heat on the rim. It's just a lot of it has been blow-bys, which obviously from a coaching standpoint you want to try and keep in front and obviously not bail them out to foul them, but...
Mendoza at the line. She sinks the first one. They're 100% from the free throw line. Bit tongue-in-cheek, I know. Mendoza. Doesn't go. Stepped over the line.
Yeah, that's what I believe. That's what it looked like to me.
That's what, yeah. Have not seen that one called before. But must have been a long way over. Richardson gets involved, finds the way through to Smith. Smith to Richardson again. Smith for three. Jess Smith. A huge moment for her. 63-56 early in the fourth. Three-point play for Courts. Picked up. Smith again. That's 5 points for Smith in the space of a minute. to start this last quarter.
If she enters double figures, she's got 10 points now.
I was going to ask you, how much is it important that not just the top 2 or 3 are scoring for these sides? Both, like you get 4 or 5 into that double figure sort of mark.
Absolutely, that's huge. If you can get 4 or 5.
As Ruby Sweetie Speed 6 gets them a nice 3.
So second of the night.
She's up to 6. It's massive, it's huge at this sort of level. Zoe Shaw isn't out on court.
On cue again.
On cue. Might as well put a crystal ball in front of me and I'll tell you what's going to happen. There's lovely ball there, Poppy Blanche.
Again, just too much time and space. She's one of the premier shooters in this competition, and to be given that much room.
Turning Boyle. Passes to Nathan Batchelor.
Ooh, off hands.
Off hands. There's been a tip. Substitutions for both sides. And Shaw's back in. And Courts and Mendoza take a break. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Shaw. Boyle. Gets the drain, gets it to drain. That was huge. Seconds ticking down on the shot clock, and she says, thank you very much. I'll put a nice floater up. McCarthy works in with Cox. Back to McCarthy, Richardson. Cox drops it at the feet. Reckon she was trying to find Blanche there, but Blanche had already run past. Shaw for Keilor. Steps back, deep 2. Won't go. Keilor boxed out well. McCarthy stops right at the halfway line. There's Blanche for 3. Bendigo go nuts. 10-point spread. It's the highest it's been all night.
Yeah, I think that takes Blanche to 19.
It's how much has it got to do with the rotation, and how much has it got to do with just the way that they've been playing tonight? Do you reckon for Bendigo? As they get the 2 to go, a 3-point play coming up for Sweeney Shipstack.
I think the ball movement of Bendigo has been something that's probably Blanche been able to take advantage of. But with Keilor in this press as well, they're obviously trying to quicken Bendigo up, and Bendigo just been very clever in this second half with that, just getting the ball through hands, and obviously having a point guard like Lavinia Cox, who doesn't really fall too much pressure in those situations.
Smith back on for Richardson. As Ruby drains the 3-point play. Somehow Cox ends up with that out of Whitelaw's hands. McCarthy. Whitelaw. Smith.
Oh, too
Cox,
much room again.
where is the defender? And she drains that one.
You can see Keilor was switching, communicating. It got to the second stagger action and just lost the person you don't want to lose.
Very much so. As reply 3 for Caitlin Peterson. That's her first points of the night from the corner. And Nathan Batchelor wants to have a bit of a chat. 6:18.
It's not a bad result for Keilor. I think Keilor needed a bit of a timeout there too, with some breakdowns down this end, obviously in the defensive side of things. I think they're going to try and work out an answer for Lavinia Cox and Poppy Blanche.
Well, Cox is up to, from what we've got, 27 points, 11 from 18 from the field. That's huge numbers.
Yeah.
20 points for Blanche as well. And then you throw in Jess Smith with nice 10 with a nice little cameo.
Well, she had 5 points with about 30 seconds to a minute, 2 possessions in a row, hit a big 3. And they got the easy 2 as well.
6 boards for Smith as well. 4, 7, 8 offensive boards for Bendigo. And 8 offensive boards. Everything else seems to be pretty good at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, the total field goal percentage, Keilor 49 to 51. So the game seems pretty even. we got a 7-point spread. Does it feel like 7?
No, it's felt very close the whole time.
Maybe about a 4. That's about a 4-possession game in a way.
I think with both of these teams, with their shooting ability, though, they can make that up in 2 or 3 possessions if they get on or get open looks.
As Smith finds the ball after the Keilor players run into each other.
They got lucky there. I thought they were going to give up a layup.
Well, I thought they were too.
There's one.
Great work there. Ruby Sweeney
takes her to double figures with 12 points. That's her 3rd 3 of the night.
And in more from her. Blanche finally gets a hand in the face, says no. I'll recycle it to Cox. Cox with the crossover from mid-range. Would have expected that one to go the way she's been playing. Peterson. Shaw.
So I'll be getting the ball in Ruby's hands soon. Look at that.
Turn up around. Just thank you very much. We'll take 2 for there.
And just like that, back to a 2-point game. As I said, you can make it up in 3 possessions, and it's sort of right there.
And that's what they've done. Blanche driving to the basket. Loses the handle. McCarthy. Kick out to Smith, who drains a 3. Oh, that was huge. Jess Smith. Blanche and Cox were guarded like there was no one's business, and Smith says thank you very much.
She had all the time in the world too. And again, I think that's her 3rd 3 of the night as well.
I reckon it's going to come down to these, not stars, but Sweeney, Shipstack again. Can't get it to go. Smith with the board. It's going to come down to the 2nd tier sort of players, if you want to call it that.
Definitely.
No disrespect. As Cox says thank you very much, I'll take 2 at the driving lane.
And that's definitely not one of the 2nd tier players of tonight. She's, I think, my tip for MVP right now.
I would not be surprised either. Shaw gets the ball through, hands to Savic. And McCarthy says, let's just calm this one down. Keilor, no fouls given in this 4th quarter.
Oh.
Blanche.
Smith again.
Smith. Shaw's been told to just go. Drive as hard as you can.
And one.
I
think that 3 to 4 minute rest she had has probably been really good for her because, again, Lavinia Cox there was ahead of her, but she was able to outrun her.
So Cox picks up her 3rd foul. McDermott comes on for Whitelaw. Megan Jarvis wants to have a chat to Ruby Sweeney Shipstack as Shaw drains the 3-point play. 4-point margin. Cox, they step off her. McCarthy, find a way through. Smith
again
from halfway almost. Probably a bridge too far for Jess Smith. Good to see though Poppy Blanche get over and say, don't worry about it, we've got to get back on defense here.
I think she just pulled the trigger a little too early there. I thought they pulled it out, got the ball through hands. She was definitely open, but she hadn't made her last 1 or 2 as well.
Could have sat off it nicely. Boyle. Shaw versus McCarthy. Peterson.
Oh, nice
Boyle.
pass.
Oh, great ball. Savic involved there as well. 2 points, 3 minutes. It's an eternity in basketball. Peterson picks this one up. The shot won't go. That's going to be a foul on Poppy Blanche for a push.
Caitlin Peterson might have got away with one at half court there, but again, the referees have put it away. It's been very well refed and very consistent in those areas too.
Megan Jarvis picking up a possession. As an adjustment to the shot clock being made, 14.
It's a tough one, right? Keilor's got the momentum at the moment. She may lose one of these timeouts if she doesn't use one of them before the 2-minute mark. I thought she might have called one there to get a bucket, but at the same time, I understand. Don't want to break this momentum and give Bendigo a chance to set something up.
Shaw.
There she
Driving.
goes.
Can't get it to go, but Boyle's big on the board. What's going to happen here? Shaw's on the ground. They're calling it travel. Oh my goodness, they called it travel. After all that, Nathan Batchelor says we want to have a chat. 2 minutes 40 left in the game. Batchelor and Alabakov having a chat and seeing what they can come up with. Interesting call on the jump ball travel violation there. As the floor wipers doing their job to try and make sure that the floors are nice and clean. It's been a huge season for both these sides.
Can Bendigo do it for a third time in a row? Another close one and get over the line.
Well, I was coming into the night going, if it's going to be 4 points, it's going to be Bendigo's way because they won the 2 other finals by 4. Keilor, as we said, going for back-to-back. Two points. They still need the floor wipers involved. They need to make sure that they're trying to make it nice and clean. We got an update from Knox.
Let me have a look.
Well, sorry, throw you under the bus right there.
It's all right. 60 all.
60 all. Midway through the third.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's going to be a big result. Who's going to win it from there?
It's tough. Probably, I thought Knox had the depth, but I'm probably going to go with my boy Ben Air at Sandringham. I think he's going to get them over the line.
There's a loose pass there from Meg McCarthy. Can't find Poppy Blanche in the corner. And that took all of 4 seconds. As the Thunder voice find their voice. Shaw, step back, keeps the dribble going. Boyle, left unattended as Shaw drew a crowd. Cox, Blanche has ended up with it after Smith got a hand on there. McCarthy on the wing. McDermott finding Smith. Blanche, there's that hand that you've been looking for all night. There's a nice little ball in. McDermott, Kiara McDermott with a drive in. 81-79. Bendigo with one timeout and one foul to give. Shaw, shot goes off the backboard and she draws the foul. For a hands foul, their first foul in the last quarter.
Coach Megan Jarvis just telling Zoe, Shaw, going to move that ball. I thought she overdid it a little bit too there, obviously. She got all the way to the basket. Absolutely, but she settled and there was time on the clock to get that ball outside.
They don't need a rush, it's only 2 points.
Oh, it's a big violation.
Sideline.
Yeah, so the inbounder's inbounded it. Lavinia's thrown it back to the inbounder and she hadn't got both feet in play.
That's huge.
The Bendigo NBL 1 girls are up and about, not happy with that call.
Probably didn't see what was forced. Oh. Huge block by Poppy Blanche. Lavinia Cox driving hard. Oh. Trying to go around the back. Just take the simple shot would be the way that you call it. trying to draw Yelena Savic to do something that she didn't want to do. She's smart enough not to. Zoe Shaw there finds Boyle, who has not sat down at all. Driving to the basket there, Caitlin Peterson. Cox finding McCarthy. McCarthy gets it across the line. Blanche settles things down. McDermott, Cox. We're into the last minute of play. McCarthy picks the ball up, gets it back.
What are they called?
Has a foul.
Interesting. Big offensive ball there from McCarthy, though.
Caitlin Peterson picks up her fourth. Batchelor goes to the bench. Caitlin Richardson back in. Jess Smith takes a break. Kiara McDermott still out on the court. Batchelor talking to his troops. If they can hear him, that's a miracle. Blanche for three! She drains it! As a timeout is called to Keilor Thunder. It's a 5-point margin with 44 seconds left on the clock.
Again, just too much time and space. Obviously, the hand got there late, but you've got to know where Blanche in that situation is. The ball was always going to end up in her or Lavinia Cox's hands to make a play for themselves or for the team.
You reckon that's what Megan Jarvis is talking to him right now?
I
Make sure.
I think she's going to move on, obviously, right now. They're going to advance the ball here, I believe, to get a quick one so they can obviously get 2 for 1. They will need a score here.
Yep.
If they don't score, they're probably going to have to almost play the foul game, depending on how quick they get that first shot up. But I think she'll move on from that possession because they've obviously got to go down the offensive end.
They've still got 3 fouls to give. How important is that with 44 seconds left on the clock?
It's tough. I think if you give an early one, though, to stop the momentum so that Bendigo can't get out in transition, and then they can set up a full court press or something like that, see if they can get a cheap steal deflection and go from there. But yeah, this will be interesting to see what Megan comes up with off the sideline or in the half court to get a quick shot off.
So 44.3 seconds left in the Victorian Youth Championship Women's Grand Final. And we are advancing it. So it'll be 14 seconds on the shot clock. The 2 for 1 options on. Liam Glascott called it. It's going to be Peterson to inbound. They got that quick one off. They can't get there. Great work by McDermott, and there's the foul. Yelena Savic for a pushing foul. That's her first personal.
I don't believe that was what was drawn up.
You reckon it would have been the shot to go in first?
Oh, that too, but I think they didn't want that. They wanted a quick shot out of an action.
Yep.
But
McCarthy gets it across halfway. Cox. Blanche is there as well.
Can't afford a foul here now. We'll play this possession out.
McCarthy. Cox screaming for it in the opposite wing. 3 seconds. Cox. Oh, couldn't quite go. Which way is this one going to go? Play on? No, out of play. Ruby swinging split stick. Touched the ball while she was out of play. As Nathan Batchelor says, let's have a chat. .4 seconds left on the clock. It's quiet.
For me, I think Bendigo looking like they're going to take out both the NBL 1 South and the VYC competition, which is huge.
That's massive.
Oh,
For a country town to do that, I suppose, as well, like with Bendigo, it's been massive. So Batchelor trying to use all the allotted time. So Bendigo ball from their end. Shot clock's off. It's McCarthy, Blanche, Cox, Richardson, and McDermott, who's played a huge fourth quarter. Kiara McDermott, Blanche with the inbound. What are they going to run? Richardson picks it up, and there's the foul. Savic.
Mark trying to get himself an unsmall tonight there. It's a very tricky one, but she had to play on the ball there.
Savic with her second, 10.5, 1 to give for both sides. Referee just trying to make sure the kids stay off this side of the court. So Blanche has got enough spot to pass it in. Cox gets the foul. Hands foul, and we're going to the line to shoot 2.
What's your thoughts here? Knock both down, Keilor go get a 3 and they win by 4 again. Is that a chance? Or?
I'm thinking she knocks one down and then deliberately misses the second.
Okay.
Run the time off the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll probably sink both, let's be honest. Cox.
Ooh,
misses the first.
Go.
There you go. Now she has to score this second one.
Well, it's still a 2-possession game no matter what, make or miss.
And she does make that one. 85-79 as timeout. Drawn up, taken by Keilor. 6 points, the spread.
The Bendigo crowd not too happy with the timeout. A few people going, why? I think 7 seconds is still a long time if I'm being honest in basketball. 6 points. If they can get a 3 in the first 2 seconds, then obviously the clock does stop. Get up and get a steal. That's plenty of time.
Or get up and get a steal. Can you afford to foul even though they're at the limit?
Yeah, if you don't get the steal, I think you definitely have to foul.
Yep.
And then hope for the best that they do miss both.
Yep.
Because if they make one, that's sort of game over from there. I don't think you're going to get 3 possessions in 7.6. But we have seen some crazy things happen in the sport of basketball over the time.
Kudos to Macy Boyle, who's played the whole game tonight. 22 points on the night, 6 boards and 3 rebounds. That's been massive for Keilor tonight.
Yeah, Macy plays a lot bigger than what she is. She's been one of our young athletes that's played a fair bit with the NBL 1 this year. She was, I think she averaged about 20 minutes a game with the NBL 1 this year, so she took on a big role, especially towards the back end of the season.
That's awesome. It's what you want to see. 7.6 seconds. Keilor have advanced it. It's going to be Peterson to inbound it. Richardson gets the steal. McCarthy at the 3-point line. They're kind of trying to take the clock down. And that is that. Bendigo do the double. Victorian Youth Championship Women Grand Final has been won by the Bendigo Braves. Keilor, unbelievable effort from both of these two sides. Keilor have been phenomenal all year. As we said, coming off reigning champions last year, and what an amazing effort it's been tonight for both these two sides.
Oh, big time. Obviously, credit to Bendigo, Lavinia Cox, Bobby Blanche. Huge. Combining for 53 of their 85. Lavinia Cox with 30 points, shooting the ball just under 60%. Well, I thought Jessica Smith coming up with 13, I thought she was the big difference, especially in the second half. I think she had 8 of those in the second half, 2 big 3 balls. Obviously 5 points like we spoke about, and about 2 or 3 possessions, quick possessions too. Obviously Ruby Sweeney tried to come home there. She got in a little roll where she got the game back in her own hand, back to 2 points.
Yep.
But I thought Bendigo did a great job on both Macy Boyle and Zoe Shaw in that second half and slowed them down for where they were potentially heading from a statistic point of view.
And that's what what needed, I suppose, needed to happen on the other side for Bendigo. As for Blanche and Cox. Your tip for MVP, has it changed than what it was earlier?
Yeah, Lavinia Cox for me, obviously winning the game, but also she was tremendous. She's very consistent across the board. Had 4 assists as well. Like I said, shot the ball at 57%, but 71% from inside the 3-point line. I thought that was the difference as I mentioned, she got when she even got downhill, she got fouled on what she liked at the rim, and that was a huge difference. I thought Keilor did an okay job in there in a patch and sort of forced her for some contested shots, but yeah, credit to Lavinia Cox and obviously the Bendigo Braves.
Well, they've done it, ladies and gentlemen. Bendigo have been able to go from come down to Melbourne, take home the BigV Youth Championship Women game, as well as the NBL 1 title tonight on a historic night when the Matildas also won, which is great to see. We've got to throw that in there because they did it just before we kicked off, so thank you very much. Liam Glascott, it's been an absolute pleasure to be calling this one with you tonight.
Thanks, Michael. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for having me.
It's been great in that regard. Well done to the referees too. We mentioned them earlier. They've done a fantastic job. It's their grand final as well. But we might let the scenes do the talking, and we've got the presentations coming up. So stick around, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go on court with Todd in just a few moments. He looks like he's gearing up to MC the presentations here, and what's been a huge night.
Absolutely.
Liam, thanks very much, mate.
No, thank you. Have a safe trip, mate. We'll talk soon.
Will do.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We've got the presentations coming up in not too far away. We'll be back in just a little bit.